Alright, good evening folks, and welcome to Diehard Racing League's JMR Outdoors American Hero Hunt Cup Series, where tonight we are starting Season 2, Round 1 here at Daytona International Speedway. And as we stated last week, there is going to be a lot of number changes and new paint schemes and a whole lot of new coming. And I think the funnest part is we got to run the truck race earlier, and that was an absolute blast. Managed to help push the 87 to a win, so it felt good to be out on the track. And had Mike out there helping me. He was pushing James and got him up to second, so we're happy with the third and the fourth. Although if we both had clean trucks, I think we might have been contenders for the win there ourselves. But either way, it's still fun to be out there. Right now we are currently, they have just started qualifying here. As always, it is 10 minutes, so there's plenty of time here for us to get the national anthem in, get a little bit of info about what's going on here, and basically let these drivers get the times in, and we get to admire the new drivers and paint schemes. So we do have a couple new drivers. We have the 98 of Jeffrey Ford, as well as we're looking right now the 3 of Bruce Pearson. Those are both new drivers to the league making their debut here. And what better place than Daytona International Speedway to do so? Because if you can make it around this track, you can pretty much do anything. Because this is probably the hardest discipline of oval racing. As we saw, if you guys tuned in last night and watched the actual race, Stenhouse obliterating the entire field with the help of Keselowski there. So right now we are going to wait for the first times to start coming in to see who's got the fastest, and right now it belongs to the 5 of Brad Speidel, who ran a 48.351. Behind him so far the 3 of Bruce Pearson with a 48.480. Now we see the 22 Joshua Stewart with a 48.325. So you see that right there, that is the 1 of James Mullins. You may remember last week he was in the 38, but new season, new numbers. Now the season champion, the 21er Jason DeVries, he is also in a new number and a new paint scheme. He's in the 99 tonight, as we see also right there, the 58 of Robert Barris, formerly the 75. And another driver running a new name and number is going to be the 9 of Rodney Kramer. You know him for years, he's run the 6. He is now going to be in the 9 Chase Elliott paint themed machine, as well as the 31. If you guys have watched it for a long time, you know that that is the former number of the 77 of Seth Schultz. He's gone back to his original number that he rode for forever, and the paint scheme that we tried to get out of him last week at Chicagoland, you'll be able to see it now. And out of nowhere, look at this, we've got the 9 of Rodney Kramer, who we were just talking about, with a 47.809. That is good for the pole right now, with the 58 of Robert Barris behind him with a 8.19. So Rodney by 1/100 of a second there. I think the thing that we need to note right here is all these guys here from 1st through 10th are in the 47.8 range. Starts with a 47.809, and 10th place rounds it out with a 47.884. Then the next closest one, 11th place, a 47.9 flat. So that's pretty crazy right there to have the top 10 separated by less than 1/10 of a second. But while we are in our extended qualifying here, we're going to go ahead and bring out the U.S. Army Marching Band as always, so we can bring you tonight's national anthem. So everybody please rise and remove your hats as we present tonight's nation's colors. job as always. And while we were under the national anthem there, we've got a new pole sitter. The 59 of Justin Bolton with a 47-777. That is undoubtedly not going to be able to be topped, as right now we take a look at the 96 of Josh Gallagher. Currently, he is being scored in the 13th position. As we wait for qualifying to round out here, we will undoubtedly get into tonight's starting lineup here for, once again, race 1 of season 2 here. See if Jason can go 2 for 2 on championships here. So we take a look there at the 31 of Seth Schultz. Last season you saw him running that Fight Cancer Ford Fusion. This season you will see him in that orange and black Kickstart Fusion, which he came to me about a week before, it was right just before Chicagoland, and he wanted something different done, so he gave me an idea, gave me the template that he wanted, and basically did what I do and gave the driver what he wanted. So that's the paint scheme that we're going to see the 31 running. I personally kind of like it. The more I look at it, the more it grows on me. It's kind of geared to what I like, the simple side, but it's still got a good breakup of color. So with that lap there, that's going to score the 31 in 13th position. So we see the 68 of James Brown out on track, running that Red Bull machine. I thought we told James that he needed to run a better paint scheme than that. Well, needless to say. Joining me in the booth, as always, I've got my eyes and ears behind the scene, Mike Major, and also the 17 of Cody Franklin. How you guys doing tonight?
What's going on, Art? A lot of beautiful cars out there. A couple of them you painted. I actually did not like the 31 paint scheme when I first saw it, when the curtain was revealed in the pictures, but out here on track it looks awesome.
Well, I knew it was going to be once the metallic layers kicked in and we saw it under the lights that it was really going to shine, but once again, Seth is geared more towards the simple paint schemes. He doesn't like the over-the-top ones, so I kind of I like that, because sometimes you can do a lot with a very simple paint scheme versus what, like James's paint scheme there. That's really, really loud, and it's kind of distracting a little bit. But that is the old Team Red Bull paint scheme that Brian Vickers and I'm trying to remember the other guy's name who ran on the team. Yeah, Allmendinger and Vickers. They both ran those cars. I'll never forget the race at Richmond when they wrecked each other. And as James crosses the line there, right now he is being scored with that lap. It'll put him second. He ran a 47.806. So a little bit of a shakeup here now inside of the top 5, as we have got the checkered in the session state. So that brings us tonight's starting lineup. On pole, we have the 59 of Justin Bolton with a 47.777 starting to his outside. We just watched it happen. The 68 of James Brown with a 47.806. Rolling off third will be the 9 of Rodney Kramer with a 47.809. The 58 of Robert Barris rolls off fourth with a 47.819. Todd Larrabee in the 73 will start from the 5th position with a 47.836. The 99 of Jason DeVries will roll off 6th with a 47.837. The 1 of James Mullins will start 7th tonight with a 47.841. The 16 of Elliott Butler to his outside in 8th with a 47.854. Todd Cray in the 10 will start from 9th with a 47.856. Rounding out the top 10 will be one of our new drivers, the 98 of Jeffrey Ford with a 47.857. Rolling off 11th, we have the 28 of Adam Nowinski with a 47.866. The 95 of Caleb Finn will start from 12th with a 47.875. Sean Bradley, who I pushed to a win in the truck race, will roll off 13th tonight with a 47.884. The 31 of Seth Schultz will start to his outside in 14th with a 47.892. Josh Gallagher in the 96 will roll off from the 15th position with a 47.893. The 3 of Bruce Pearson starts 16th with a 47.9 flat. Starting from the 17th position, we have the 5 of Brad Speidel with a 47.908. The 49 of Robert Dudley will start 18th with a 47.918. Joshua Stewart in the 22 rolls off 19th with a 47.948. The 76 of Josh Jones, our series sponsored driver, he will roll off from 20th. 21st will be the 4 of Caleb Thompson. Christian DeBoer in the 56 is going to round out the field there in 22nd. And as the cars have taken to the track, we are less than a lap away from kicking Season 2 off. Cody, what do you think we're going to see here tonight? Is it going to replicate what we saw in the truck race? Or do you think these guys are going to show a little bit more patience knowing that they got to go 70 laps versus the 50 that we did in the trucks?
Well, Art, I don't know. If it's anything like it was in the real race, it gets wild real quick and it's sporadic. It's people get aggressive when normally they wouldn't. Hopefully we'll stay competitive and aggressive and get out there.
Well, we do have the 68 on the outside, and Mike was pushing James. I was pushing the 87 of Sean Bradley, and ultimately I got Sean up there for the win. Mike got James up there for second. But you never can rule out James. He's been the reason that we've had to alter some rules when we had the Flatfoot Series, because he was able to stretch fuel for 50 laps at Daytona in the K&N car. So you never know it, but as we see right now, we have the pace car coming down, and once again, the green flag is out. We are underway.
See a little bit of a checkup on the outside line there, starting around the 99 machine. He's going to check up that outside line, and they're not going to get going right here yet.
You see the 9 of Rodney Kramer glued to the back bumper of Bolton there in the 59. You get a good look there at the 59 Simcraft Chevy SS. Now Rodney now running the Chase Elliott Napa Auto Parts scheme. You can see there as we see the 1 of Mullins going to the inside down there below. The 68 of James Brown, as we see the 58 of Robert Barris, the 28 of Adam Nowinski, the 87 of Sean Bradley. Now, this right here is exactly what we saw, and if anybody has run any official races, you know that the outside line is kind of not going to get you anywhere. So we saw the 98 get a little piece of the wall there coming through the trial, but that's going to hurt him a little bit. Did see the sparks there, so he's going to drop to the tail under the field. He's going to be able to tuck in front of the 56 of Christian DeBoer. Right now, the 99 of DeVries, the 68 of James Brown. Now we see the 31 of Seth Schultz stepping out there, but Rodney right now in the 9, he's going to try and challenge for the lead. Not really going to work so well being one car versus a freight train there on the inside.
Right now, Rodney is falling like a rock in that new number 9 Napa know-how machine. He's not getting any help as he's falling back quickly.
Now, he could be doing something intentionally, knowing that we still have a long way to go. We're only 3 laps into the race, and with these guys running a full fuel load, the pit window is, you could basically split this race on 1 pit stop if you're careful. Now, if you're going to stay out front the whole time, provided we don't get cautions, this is pretty much a 1 pit stop race, and more than likely it's going to be just a fuel only and maybe a windshield tear off. We're not really going to see tires being too much of a factor unless we see a caution come out, and obviously any drivers that were involved in the caution, if they went around, it's just safe to take tires anyways. But you never know. When the playing field gets leveled, sometimes it doesn't hurt to lose a few positions to come down and get 4 fresh stock to field goods. on top of getting a full tank of fresh Sunoco race fuel.
One thing to mention along with the pitting is when they're exiting with the new iRacing rules, if they touch that yellow line as they're trying to get up speed and not lose any speed as other cars are on track, they cannot touch that yellow line. If they touch that yellow line, it is a penalty, and they will ultimately lose at least 1 lap, if not 2 laps, because they'll be out of the draft.
Daytona's more of a sucker than it is than Talladega. Talladega, the yellow line is actually still part of the track. And you've got a fairly large apron down there, but here it's flat down on the apron versus Talladega, so you've got to be really careful. And the way that I've found the best way to stay below the apron is to actually short shift forward, and then when you get about 3/4 of the way out of turn 2, throw it back up in the 3rd gear to get the RPMs back up, and then slam it back down in the 4th gear once you're redlining it in 3rd. But as we see a little mini train trying to form there on the outside, honestly, with the amount of cars that we have running on this inside freight train here, I think these 4 cars are just kind of going to cycle towards the rear of the field pretty quick.
If they could get a little bit more help, I believe they would get up there. They're slowly inching forward, and they've got a couple guys that's taking a look, but they have not made the decision to come up off that bottom group yet.
Well, Daytona and Talladega now, unfortunately, the way that iRacing has modeled the draft here, the A cars suffer the worst from it. So you really have to be committed. You've got to have a good group of guys, and it's not like it used to be where you could just leapfrog, where you'd get somebody out there pushing the front, they drop down, and then it's next in line. You've got to have at least 3 or 4 cars out there to stay competitive with the inside line. So you,
as we've seen, the Todd Cray and the 16 of Elliott Butler jumped up in front of that line, and here comes another set of guys up to the front to try to help, as they're kind of making it a little dicey right now. With the, looks like the 1 has stepped up there.
We also saw the 58 of Robert Barris. I don't know if he came up there to throw a block or if he was trying to come up and then realized he might have been a little bit too close to the 10, as now he is going to come up in front of the 1. So I think that was, Robert might have thought he might have misstepped or mistimed there, but now we see that this line on the outside is starting to form up a lot better here, and we should start seeing a little bit more action up here at the front as they're going to start to double it out, which is also going to help the rear of the field as well too, as these guys run 2x2 here. As long as there's about 3 or 4 cars together, they're going to be able to run decent, but once you lose the pack here, you're pretty much done. You're going to have to wait for a caution, as we can see the 98 and the 56 back there. The 56.
After the 1 dropped down there, out from behind Robert Barris. He's going to go around him. Will he pull back in front of him?
Honestly, I don't know. Right now, I think with it only being 8 laps in out of 70, unless he gets a good run here on the back stretches, now he does, in fact, come up. We're also going to see the 59. That is the 73 of Larrabee. He's going to come up in front of the 1 there of Mullen. So at the line, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Bolton or is it going to be Larrabee? Give that 1 to the 73, as he's going to be scored as the leader at the line.
Larrabee got a good jump up there, but now their run is stalling out, as that top line is just not quite as formed as the guys on bottom. We have about 4 cars directly in line with each other on the bottom, and we've got Larrabee and the 1 that are out there, and Burris, it looks like, has backed off just a little bit. I don't know if that's to get another run at it, along with the 10 of Todd Craig.
So we look through the field, taking another, I see the 4 of Caleb Thompson. Normally we see him in the Ryzen AMD car. He is actually running an AMSOIL paint scheme now. I almost didn't even recognize the 4. He's right there behind the 22 there of Joshua Stewart. So we see now the 73 of Todd Larrabee. After leading that lap, he is now hung out to dry until the 10, the 22, and the 4 can get up to him. That is the cost of moving here at a plate track, is you've got to have, as we see the 59 of Bolton there, forced below the apron.
He'd be forced below by Adam Nowinski in the 28 machine, as now he is going to be falling back. if he does not get any help, which it does not look like he will be.
And look who the second car is on the bottom groove already. The 87 of Sean Bradley, tonight's truck winner. He has already made his way up to second position, and I don't think it'll be long before he tries to make a move there on the 59 of Bolton.
So far, everybody that's made a move has not had any help, and everybody is just taking that spot. Everybody just kind of leapfrogging whoever jumps out and has not helped him. And it's going to take some help to get around them and then down.
So right around 11 mark in, and we can see that rattlesnaking is not really happening yet. I know with the trucks, I don't know what iRacing did with the setup, but it was a little bit wonky. The front end felt really, really light as to what the truck normally does. Normally that's usually a front heavy vehicle, but the setup was just, it felt weird. I'm glad that we had a little bit of time, about 15 minutes to practice, because I definitely wasn't ready for that. And it might have been because I've been doing a lot of road racing and having basically a lot of seat time in the new Porsche, the RSR. I might have just been used to that, but I think we all agreed that the truck was a little bit nose light. But these Cup cars really haven't changed much other than how iRacing has affected the way that these cars draft. As you can see, even with the 58 of Robert Barris up in front of the 28, not really making a lot of progress there on the outside line. They've almost effectively killed the outside line, which means you've got to do a lot more aggressive side drafting, which we know leads to the net code popping up, bumps gone bad, trying to drop in front of a car or pop out in front of one and just not having the clearance. There's a lot of issues and a lot of technicalities that come up with plate track racing. But if there's a group of guys, as we see the one get pushed down a little bit there, he's going to be able to bring it back up. If there's any group of guys on the iRacing service that can take on and be able to do these kind of moves, I'd have to say it would be Diehard here. As they've proven season after season after season, and we've watched the improvement as new drivers have come in at just how high the bar is actually set with the quality of racecraft that these drivers have. Interesting thing to note, one of the three front runners for the championship last season, Eric Mickey, is not here tonight, so he'll be using his drop week a little bit early. So we are 14.
Right now we're just right around single wide until we get back here towards the back.
Single wide, are we talking about a trailer here, or are we talking about the train of cars?
Talking about the train of cars.
Ah, okay. I was just making sure, because you being from Georgia and all. Looking at the laps right now with 15 in the books. Justin Bolton in the 59 leading 13 of those. Todd Larrabee in the 73 scored with one of those laps. And that's all of them so far of the 14 that have been scored. They are on lap 15, but you must remember that they have to technically run it at the line that they would be coming to lap 71 for the completion. So even though it's showing 15, we only have 14 in the books. All right, Cody, pick a number, and we'll ride on board with them for a couple laps and see what it's like to go 200 plus miles an hour around a plate track.
How about 87? Let's go on with the truck winner.
You read my mind. And we're going to go with my favorite camera, the gyro cam here, so you guys can see just exactly how much banking is at Daytona International Speedway. see the run that Bradley gets there off the corner. That basically recharges the momentum that he gets, and he's able to get up there and give the 59 a shot as they go down the backstretch. And you see he backs off going into the corner. Basically what he's doing right here is he's building up to recharge his run. You hear he's stepping on the throttle, and then as they come up the corner, you can see the run that he gets. He carries that momentum. Nice little shove right there before they get through the tri-oval, and he'll carry that speed, and we'll probably hear the car back off again going into the corner, mid-corner, and then on exit you'll see him close back up on again. Is right there sticking the car out just to breathe a little bit, but listen and watch.
While you're listening and watching, look at the mirrors. Look at that. Oh, he turned him.
And that is going to bring out our caution, as we saw that happen firsthand. That right there was a bump gone bad. Although we watched it from on board, it looked like a square hit. We're going to go ahead and we're going to switch back to a regular camera and get the replay on that to see what exactly, how that turned from what looked like a good bump into a bad bump. Alright, so as we watch it here, this is going to be the lap prior to it. So we're actually going to get on board with the 59 of Justin Bolton from his point of view. So this is coming off of 4. As soon as they come off of 2 and they get on the backstretch, we'll see the contact between the 87 and the 59, and this will rule out whether it was a good or a bad bump. Oh, you can see right there, he was a little bit off center to the right, and that was enough to push the 59 around. Great job, though, by the 59, keeping it backed into the wall there to minimize the damage, and good job by the rest of the field getting around and not contributing to the cause here, as everybody is now coming down pit road.
Art, what will we see here? Will we see 2 tires, 4 tires, fuel only? Track position is important here.
Your guess is as good as mine.
87 has overshot his pit stall. He's going to have to back up. He's still backing up. So does Seth Schultz in the 31 machine. He is backing up.
See right side's going up on the 68. The 9 riding Kramer overshooting his box. See 4 tires and fuel for the 68 of James Brown, as well as the 59 of Justin Bolton and the 9 of Rodney Kramer. We have 1 driver that has stayed out, and that being the 99 of Jason DeVries.
Art, something I just noticed here, the 96, his right sides were just across both double yellows. I'd be interested to see if he gets a black flag for that.
Well, judging from the experience I have from running in another league, it doesn't matter whether it's under caution or if you're in qualifying. If he did in fact get those right sides over the double yellow line, he will receive a green flag penalty for that. We're going to go ahead and take a look at another possible little incident here. We're going to back it up a little bit and take a look at the 22 of Joshua Stewart. Looks like there might have been a little bit of contact between him and the 9 of Rodney Kramer. Oh, you see right there. I don't know what. If Josh was slowing up for somebody, but we saw Rodney, he had to slide back there. He will get the positions back, but not quite sure what happened there out of the 22 cam. We're going to take a look here at the 59 of Rodney Kramer here. Let's see. It looks like he might be down on pit road here. He is, and he does have some damage to that 9 machine. So once again, we'll see the right sides go up. As well as the 22 of Stewart. He's also coming back down. So apparently a little bit of damage to both of those machines. We see the 9 get back out on track. Looks like they got that machine patched up as good as they're going to. Meanwhile, the pace car lights are out. We're about a half a lap away from restarting the race here. So with the race lead and with the new number and paint scheme, the 99 of Jason DeVries is going to lead us to the restart. 2 is outside the 1 of James Mullins, Robert Barris 3rd, Todd Larrabee 4th, Caleb Finn 5th, Elliott Butler 6th, Adam Nowinski 7th, Todd Cray 8th, Josh Gallagher 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is going to be 5 of Brad Speidel. So we're actually going to do a Fox Crank It Up restart here this time. As the pace car makes its way out of turn 4, wait for it to drop down pit road. We'll get the green flag here, and we'll give you guys a couple laps of these guys loud and proud. So the 99 green flag is out. We're back underway. Alright, as they get ready to come out of 3 and 4 here, we'll switch back over to the regular Fox cams. Out front, it's still the 99 of Jason DeVries with the race lead. Behind him, we have the 58 of Robert Barris, the 95 of Caleb Finn, and the 1 of James Mullins. Directly behind him, the 73 of Todd Larrabee, the 10 of Todd Cray, the 28 of Adam Nowinski, the 68 of James Brown, the 87 of Sean Bradley, and as we can see right there in the Chase Elliott Mountain Dew, the 16 of Elliott Butler holding down 10th position at the moment.
We'll see what that little bobble on pit road did to Sean Bradley there. He went from leading this thing after the incident between him and Bolton, and he's now being scored 9.
You know, I thought from in cockpit too that was just a regular textbook bump, but it wasn't until we went to the exterior view that you could see he was just slightly off center, and that right there is the difference that it makes between a clean bump and turning somebody up the track. But luckily and thankfully, the 59 of Bolton did a great job keeping the wheel cranked up into the wall, keeping the car rolling up against the wall backwards till it came to a stop, which allowed the entire field to drop down low and get by before he attempted to get the car turned back around. Too many times, especially with other leagues, we have seen somebody in that same situation crank the wheel back around to the right and unfortunately bring that car back across the racetrack and collect a lot of other drivers. Right now, looking at the field, we have no retirees. All 22 drivers that started the race are still in this thing.
Yeah, Art, after looking back at that same incident, if it had been me, I probably couldn't even save it. It showed the talent that he actually had to keep it up there. And with us up in the booth, I was able to go back and slowly watch it. He actually was 2 bumps. The first bump was a clean, solid hit, it looked like. The second one, it appeared he was bumping and hooking at the same time as what ended up sending him around.
Unfortunately, the way that iRacing has remodeled the way that the draft is detected here, a lot of the times, even though you can kind of off-center bump, and it normally wouldn't have an adverse effect in a straightaway, but it would in a corner, with the way that they changed the aerodynamic package on this car, now you have to be almost as careful as you do with, say, the K&N Pro Impalas now. Because we all know how bad those things are. They're basically a shovel nose, and then they've got a 2x4 for a rear end. And these Monster Energy Cup cars are kind of, even though we've got different varieties, different noses between the Chevy, the Ford, and the Toyota, it's pretty much all the same. And with the way that the build has gone, it's almost effectively created like an imaginary point in front of the car. So you've got to be really, really careful of when and how you time your bumps.
See, the 95 machine has stepped out, and he is losing positions. That'll be Caleb Finn.
We've got the other Caleb right behind him, the Ford of Caleb Thompson coming up in another Ford.
Oh, 56 has gotten tapped.
Oh, you see contact there with the 31 of Seth Schultz.
They're going to save it, it looks like. It's not going to be a caution. 56 is still wobbling. It looks like they saved it. No caution.
We are, however, going to go back and do a replay on that. No caution did come out. As we see the 56 still trying to save it there. We're going to bump it back here. So we've gone back a full minute here, but keep your eyes peeled on the 56 there of Christian DeBoer, as well as that orange and black 31 driven by Seth Schultz. Now we should see it happening as they go through 3 and 4 here. There's a checkup, there's a little bit of a bump there, and we see that apron hook sliding. And there's the door slam with the 31. Great job by Seth locking it down. So we see the 56 still trying to save it. A little bit of grass thrown up on the surface, but both drivers able to keep it down. So no caution will come out for that, but that will be crucial against the 56 and the 31. So what that looked like to me is it looks like the 56 checked up and forgot to call it out, and he got tapped in the back by the 31, which set that event in motion. But look, good job by both drivers being able to keep the cars down below the surface and not break the plane that would bring out a caution.
Art, if we could take a close look at the 31 machine, he's got heavy right front damage.
So you can see right there, you can see about half of that Goodyear Eagle tire sticking out of the right front. Not the way I wanted to see a brand new paint scheme that just got unveiled start the season here. But this is plate track racing.
He's also got a good crinkle in the back too. Right now we're showing him at 186 miles an hour, so it hasn't hurt him too bad. But without the draft, it's most definitely they're going to catch him and catch him quick.
See the damage there back behind the right rear tire, and then we'll go up to the front here so you can get a better shot. You can see how badly tore up that front fender is right there. As you can see, thank God that's not a real tire, because that thing would have already blown by now, seeing how the fender is pushed through and into the tire. But heavy damage on the 31 of Seth Schultz. And with that damage right now, he's losing about 3.2 seconds per lap. And being out of the draft definitely is not helping at all. It is now 38 laps to go here at Daytona. Out front is still the 99 of Jason DeVries with his 13th lap led of the books. He's going to tie, or almost, he's coming up to tie the 59 of Justin Bolton, who's led 16 laps. As we see now, the leaders are coming up on the 56 of Christian DeVoer. That will put him down a second lap. Right now we are looking at the 7th place car, the 68 of James Brown, as we see the 56 staying high, allowing the field to go by. Yeah, the thing I'm noticing here, Cody, is the 87 of Sean Bradley. After that little bubble on pit road, it seems that losing that track position has really hurt him. He's only been able to move up, like, I think 1 spot since the restart. He restarted 9th, and he's currently being scored in 8th.
Yeah, our track position here is going to be critical in all aspects. Even if they're too wide, it's going to be critical. Because it's hard, it's going to be hard to pass with this aero package that they got going on.
As we're looking right now, he's got the 16 of Butler behind him and the 68 of Brown in front of him. And if this is going to be anything like we saw in the truck race, it was Brown versus Bradley, as James was on the outside, Sean was on the inside. And James was doing a little James Brown signature move that he does all the time when we come to a plate track. Come on turn 2, he has a tendency, especially if he's leading on the low line, he will run the outside line all the way up to the wall. And we basically had to pinch James and the 50 down during the race to stop them from coming up and trying to kill the draft, because we could get runs going. Me and Mike behind the 87, he was getting some crazy runs, but with James pulling the move of trying to get out there and stall out the air in front of us, he was effectively killing the run and also making us have to alter our line, therefore slowing us down as well.
Something else I want to point out about these two guys running. You got Elliott Butler behind them. We know he can run, and we know he can run at plate tracks. He's fast, and he knows how to push. He runs a good line. If those three could get teamed up, with, even maybe with the 28 of Adam Nowinski, they may even give Jason a run for his money.
Well, there's an old saying that is always held true. It's not over till the fat lady sings, and she's not going to sing for another 34 laps. So I wouldn't count out anything that we see up until the last lap, or rather until the checker flag comes out. So still a lot of racing left to go here, even though 34 not sounding like a lot of laps, that's still over 60 miles. So these guys have a long way to go, and they should just have enough fuel, but they might have, as long as we stay green, we might see late green flag pit stops, but it all depends on how hard they're going to run, and ultimately if we see another caution. Because if we do, then they'll definitely be good to go the rest of the way on the end. As I previously stated, right now as it sits, if this stays clean and green to the end, they are going to have to come down pit road one last time. So this is something that you have to kind of play around with the as a driver mentality. You got to decide when you're going to sacrifice the track position to pit, or are you going to make an audible and try to reach out to some other drivers and come down as a group, which would make more sense. That way you've got some guys linked up with you. That way when the leaders come around, you guys are up to speed a little bit faster, and you can latch onto the draft a lot easier versus it being one or two cars. A word out of the 58 camp is he's about 6 gallons short to finish this race, so that'll only tell you what the 99 is going to be sitting at is right now he's the one punching the hole in the air. Everybody else behind him is benefiting from it. And another thing to note too, the 99 has not pitted yet during this race. He's trying to make this a one-stop race. Now see, this is where strategy and track position all come into play. With the 99 camp banking on a one-stop race here, that means you have to have green flag pit stops. As we see right now, they are catching up, and they're going to put the 31 of Seth Schultz down the lap. You got to wonder how many more laps can that 99 go before they run out of fuel. As they come to the line, they'll have 39 laps completed, and I know the fuel window is roughly right around 40 to 45 laps of when you need to come down. So Jason should be pretty close to hitting that window there. So it'll be interesting to see when Jason comes down where the rest of these front marker guys are going to decide to come down. If they're going to wait a lap or two, or knowing that they came down during the caution, are they going to stretch it out and the 99 is going to have his work cut out for him here tonight? That's the question. And we have word that the 99 will be coming down pit road this time by, so we see the 58 moving up high. See if anybody else comes down with him.
Adam comes in the number 28 machine.
So Jason will have some help. He'll have the 28 of Adam Nowinski with him, but that will hand the race lead over to the 1 of James Mullins. As right now, the 75 Robert Barris, when he went high to check up to get out of the way for the 99, it looked like he was going to get strung out there, but the 10 of Todd Cray backed off and let Robert drop in front of him, so Robert will recycle back into the 3rd spot, as we've got Todd Larrabee right now holding down the 2nd position in the 73 FedEx machine, and behind him, or behind Todd rather, the 68 of James Brown in 5th spot. Sean Bradley being scored in 6th, so he's managed to move up a couple spots from that overshoot on pit road, but still not up front where he was before that pit stop came out to bite him. And it looks like the 99 and 28, even though they came down together, they kind of got a little bit separated during their pit stop. So they're about to get lapped here by the leaders. As you can see right there, that little blur that you saw, that is the 28, and then in front of him will be the 99. See right there, there's Adam. He's about to get lapped by the leaders. And right there you can see the 99 of Jason DeVries as he crosses the line. Adam,
and I don't know if they're up to speed yet to actually fall in line with these guys.
Well, right now that will put 3 cars down 1 lap. Adam right now in the lucky dog spot. We see now the 99. He's going to go up high and allow these guys to go by, so that will put Jason first car a lap down. So now if the iRacing caution was to come out, the 99 of Jason DeVries would be your lucky dog, as right now he's going to try to find a hole to get into here. He's got a few more cars that he's got to let by before he can drop in and get back to race pace. But I'm not really too worried. I think that the biggest thing though is him being a lap down right now. He's going to need a caution, as well as the 28 of Adam Nowinski, the 49 of Robert Dudley, and we saw earlier the heavy damage on the 31 of Seth Schultz. Unfortunately, even with the caution, that's not going to help Seth too much other than getting some of the damage fixed. With the amount of damage he has on that right front, they're not going to be able to get it 100% perfect. So he's going to be very, very aero dependent the rest of this race, as well as the 56 of Christian DeBoer right now being scored 2 laps down.
I do believe Adam has lost the draft. He is falling off pace and running only about 192 miles an hour right now.
And it does appear also that it looks like the 99 of Jason DeVries is losing the draft as we speak. He's still able to hit 199, but you can see he's starting to go back a little bit more. As that gap's starting to open up, the more that gap opens, the slower he's going to get, but behind, he does have the 28 of Adam Nowinski. He just can't afford right now to slow down his pace, back it up, and let the 21 or 28 catch up to him. But if Adam can somehow get back there once Jason does lose the draft, they can hook up, they can get together and start moving, as they would both be fighting for the lucky dog position, but they'll both be on the same lap together, and they can at least try and get up there and get their lap back, as the leaders will have to pit before this race is over. Now that is all assuming, like I said, that the caution doesn't come out. It looks like the 99 might have actually pulled that trick. He might have backed off a little bit to allow the 28 to come up, as we've seen the 28 starting to close the gap here between the 99. I think Jason's laying in about 3/4 throttle here, allowing Adam to catch up so they can get together as soon as possible and start working together.
That's exactly what he's done, Art. He dropped down to about 175 there, and now slowly climbing up, as Adam has about 10 miles per hour on him right now.
Smart call out of the 99 team there. As you can see, there's a few other cars back there behind, but a couple of them have damage on them. But as soon as the 28 hooks up with the 99, they'll get back up to speed and going. And that right there is pretty much a textbook call, right? I think anybody would do that, knowing that as long as it wasn't larger than a 5-second deficit, you're already down a lap. You know you're going to lose the lead draft. You're not on the lead lap. If you've got another car that you can back up and work with, knowing that they came down with you but you got separated, it's a no-brainer to go ahead and do that. And great move by the 99, hooking back up there with the 28. As we go back out front, it is still the one of James Mullins leading the race as he comes around to 3 and 4. This will be his 9th lap, led in the books. The 73 of Todd Larrabee with 1, the 87 of Sean Bradley with 2, the 59 of Justin Bolton with 16, the 99 of Jason DeVries with 21 laps led. That prior to his separation with the 28 there on the green flag pit stop. So right now the number to beat for laps led is 21. Can anybody get up there? The closest contender right now has 9, and it'll be 10 next time by, as long as he can maintain it.
All right, I'm really surprised that we've got some aggressive drivers here, and we have not seen anybody challenge anybody.
Well, with 20...
now we're having pits starting, and a bunch are coming.
As we see mass exodus down pit road, the whole front pack coming down.
Everybody got wide, and everybody home safely.
As we switch to the pit camera here, let's see if everybody can make it into their boxes without overshooting.
I'm watching the 87 this time.
As he slow rolls in there, he makes it that time. See,
the 1's down and away, 16's down and away.
Interesting call on the 58. The 58 took left sides only. They all come off pit road. As now we see the 73 and the 5, that's Larrabee and Brad Speidel coming down now. So this will give Jason and Adam their lap back. Right now, technically, the 73 there of Todd Larrabee is being scored as your race leader, even though he is on pit road. Now the race lead being shown as the 95 of Caleb Finn. As you see, he's hooked up with the 31 of Seth Schultz and the 49. That would be Robert Dudley. So 2 lap down cars running together with the race leader here.
All right, something I want to point out here is the 4 of Caleb Thompson was in the back of that pack when they pitted. He come out, and now he will probably fall after everything cycles to about 4th place. He was in the back of that lead group, him and the 76 of Josh Youngs, who is right behind Sean Bradley. As everybody's starting to get up to speed here and hadn't quite all got back together, we have a couple 3-pack groups. Right now, we're still looking at 95 of Caleb Finn. He's still out front. In tow is the 31 of Seth Schultz. And the 49 of Robert Dudley.
As the 95 is still continuing to lead it here right now, we can see the field so spread out. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys play together. It seems that if my calculations are correct, and usually they're not, the 95 of Caleb Finn has not pitted since the caution came out. So can he make it on fuel from here? That is the question. If we look at the gap back to second, it's 19.4 seconds between the 95 and the 1. The 95 right now, if I were him, I would let the 31 of the 49 in front, or maybe some of these other lap cars here, like the 98, just get in front of him and use them as the buffer for the wind to break it, so that the 95 can slow his pace down a little bit and run 3/4 throttle to save the fuel that he needs to make it to the end of the race. But with the 31 and the 49 being scored a lap down, they're going to want their lap back, so they're not going to really want to play that game.
That's kind of what I was thinking there, Art. If they got around him, 31 is actually a lap down, and so is the 49. They would actually get back on the lead lap by being in front of him, breaking it. So if the caution did come out, they wouldn't have to
fight for a lucky dog. That would hand it over to the 22 of Joshua Stewart, as he would be scored as the first car 1 lap down.
It just seems like it'd be, I don't know if 31's got so much front damage that they'll be able to hold this pace, and I don't know the issues there with the 49.
49 looks like he's got a clean car. We can see that they've been slowly working on that 31 just a little bit. You could still see a lot of that Goodyear Eagle though sticking out of the right side of the 31. Orange kickstart machine there. 49, I don't know what got him off sequence and put him in the lap down position, but now we see he is able to give a good shot right there though to the 31. As you see the 98 he's going to come into the picture here as well and get it behind the 49, as the 98 being scored 1 lap down as well. So now it's 3 cars in a row right here behind our race leader, the 95 of Caleb Finn, that could potentially battle for either the lucky dog or the smart move. In my mind would be all 3 of them just go around the 95. They've got the speed, they get their lap back, and they won't have to fight for a lucky dog.
That would be that'd be my option. I'd be trying to communicate with them and go around. I think 95 just said something about pitting though right now.
So we can see there's the 59 of Justin Bolton, and also the 28 of Adam Nowinski and the 99 of Jason DeVries.
Correction from the tower, he said he was going to let them know when he was pitting.
Right now, Adam and Jason, as well as Justin, barely hanging on to the lead lap here. Justin being the next car to go a lap down, as now there's 4 cars up front. The 3 behind the first one are not for position per se. They're for position on a different lap, but not the lead lap here, as they're helping the 95 keep that lead as it's grown out now to a 17.7.
He's pitting now. Our 95 is coming down now.
So that will hand the race lead over to the one of James Mullins, as we will see the 95 drop down onto the apron here, as we see the 31 of Seth Schultz coming with him. So the 95 will have help as they both make their way safely on the pit road. We're going to take a look back here at the 1 now.
Right now for the lead pack, we got a set of 3 cars, and behind them we got a set of 4. Caleb Thompson leading that pack, and behind them they got another set of 3. The 3 behind the 4 are starting to catch, and if they can hook up, they will pass the leading 3.
Well, we're down to the wire here. It'll be 10 laps to go next time by. With the field spread the way they are right now, it'd be close, but I think the be-all end-all would definitely have a late caution. But you can see that second group how they have a bigger head of steam than these 3 cars up here that are currently first, second, and third, being the 1 of James Mullins, the 58 of Robert Barris, and the 16 of Elliott Butler. So a quick run through here of the top 10, as just stated. The 1 of James Mullins, your race leader, Robert Barris in the 58 second, the 16 of Elliott Butler third, the 4 of Caleb Thompson in fourth, the 10 of Todd Cray fifth, the 68 of James Brown sixth, the 87 of Sean Bradley seventh, Brad Speidel in the 5 eighth, the 73 of Todd Larrabee in ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is going to be the 76 of Josh Jones. We take a brief summary here. We've got 60 out of the 70 laps complete. We've had 8 lead changes and 1 caution. Oh, we got somebody around on the track there. As the 3. Luckily, he was able to bring that down. Bruce was able to get that down below the racing surface. It looks like he might have looped it or something there. Looks like there might have been some contact. We're gonna, even though we're still under a green flag here, we're gonna take a look, and I believe it's the 22 that made a little bit of contact there. We see the 22 there. Let's back it up. All right, so let's take a look here and see what happened between the 22 and the 3. This is down the backstretch. We see the 9 of Rodney Kramer there with him. So here they head off into turn 3 and 4. They come off the exit of 4 into the trioval. Oh, you can see right there, oh, it's just a bump gone bad. The 3 through the grass. He goes up on track, brings it back down. And that was right in front of the race leaders, too.
So far, I've been watching this lead pack and the second pack, and they've only gained half a second on the lead pack in the last 2 laps. They're not going to catch them at this rate with the amount of laps we have left, as we're working lap 63.
I didn't figure they would. Knowing how far spread out these guys are, and with track position, and more importantly, the way that these drivers are. We know that Mullins is fast, we know Robert is fast, we know Elliott's fast. These guys are obviously going to stick together here until the end, when who knows, is Robert going to bail on James with Elliott, or are we going to see something else happen? Are we going to see a lap car come into play as maybe a pick or something here? Who knows?
Well, I'm watching Elliott. I think he's practicing right now. Watch him. He'll fall back just a little bit. I think he's trying to time his run so that he knows Robert's not going to pull out, because he's not going to give them a chance to catch him in the back. But at the probably around exit of turn 4, he's going to try to duck out on him. And I think Elliott, as he's coming in and closing the gap now, he's timing it to where he can maybe split the middle.
And I would like nothing more than to see a green finish with them 3 wide for a battle for the lead coming to the line here. We're going to look back here in 4th. We got a battle going on between the 68, the 87, the 4, and the 10. This is for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th here. We have the 4 of Caleb Thompson, the 10 of Todd Cray on the inside, the 68 of James Brown, and the 87 of Sean Bradley on the outside. And this would be why they're not catching the front 3, because they're racing 2x2.
They seem like they even might be a mile per hour faster with them side by side. Art, I'm looking at their speeds. They barely broke 198, and there they broke 199 as Caleb Thompson was scored at 199 going into 2. One.
As they go down the backstretch here, you can see the speeds these guys are carrying. Now, the outside line here, those are the rivals from the truck race. So, can the 87 and the 68 work together? As we see right now, Sean using the bottom to scoop up a little bit of draft to get that run going there on the outside. Is James gonna stay out there and help bring the 87, or is he gonna dump him as soon as he gets there?
In James Brown fashion, I bet he dumps him.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And you have to think, the 87 beat James in the truck race just prior to this.
Well, that came down to me pushing and Mike pushing. As if it was just them 2 battling, I don't know. I don't think anybody would have had anything for James, because James is, when he's down there, he likes to stay in the bottom feeding area, because he knows, especially the way that the arrow plays out here, the bottom side, number one, you have less. It's still 2.5 miles around, but if you go to the outer line, you're actually going a little bit further than 2.5 miles, so you've got a little bit more ground that you got to cover, so it's going to be a little bit slower. So James is more of what we would call a bottom feeder, where he sticks right down on that yellow line the entire way around the track. If you look back out front, we're going to see the leaders here catching some lap traffic. That would be the 22 of Joshua Stewart and
the 16
the 9.
of Elliott Butler is coming down. Hate to interrupt,
wow.
but he is down. He's
Oh, and
sideways, hits the cone.
Oh, that's going to be a commitment violation there. So now that's going to be 2 cars out here. So that, the backing off that we saw earlier, he was trying to save fuel there. And now with just 2 laps to go, the 16 of Elliott Butler having to make a very, very late pit there. It's going to come down to either the 1 or the 58 here for the win. I think the thing we need to note, the 4 of Caleb Thompson starting 21st tonight, he's currently sitting in 3rd position.
And he's the guy that I was telling you, he was in the back of that lead pack at that last pit stop interval and came out where he did. It was amazing how much track him and the 76 of Josh Jones had made up, but now Josh Jones falling back and further back.
And white flag is out, and there's the pick. Robert is using these lap cars as a pick here against the 1 of Mullins. You see the 22 of Stewart and the 9 of Kramer there. Can Robert do it? It's going to be a nail biter here to see who can do it. I don't think he's got enough for it. He's going to fall back behind. He's going to back off, try and get the run to recharge, but I don't think it's going to be enough as they come off of turn 4 for the final time. At the stripe, it will be the 1 of James Mullins with the race win. Robert Ferris bringing it home 2nd. Caleb Thompson in 3rd. So great job there by the 1 of James Mullins as he wins the season opener here at Daytona International. That was a great finish to the race after getting off to a little bit of a rocky start there with a bump gone bad for the lead there between the 87 and the 59, but nonetheless, we saw some great racing all night. If you take a look right there, that is our 4th place finisher There's our 5th place, the 68 of James Brown. All right, so as we get our top 3 down in the interview holding tank here, I think it's the swan song story here for the 4 of Caleb Thompson. Once again, he started 21st. He was able to bring it home in a podium spot with a 3rd place finish. So we got all 3 of our drivers. We're going to waste no time as we're going to bring in our 3rd place finisher, the 4 of Caleb Thompson. All right, Caleb, you started tonight's race in 21st. You brought it home 3rd. That's got to be a great feeling for the start of the season.
Oh, yeah.
And I also noticed, where did that Ryzen paint scheme go? You're running an Amsoil now.
Yeah, that one was a little unlucky last season. So I decided to go with the paint scheme I didn't make, and looks like it's doing a little bit better, huh?
I would have to say so. I'm not an expert on math, but 21st to 3rd is a pretty good bonus there. As next week we're going to head off to Kentucky. Far different from what we're racing on tonight. How important was the track position for you?
Starting in the back, I usually just do unplayed tracks, just try to stay out of stuff. And I think on the restart there, somebody messed up, and I ended up in top 10 first lap. So I think that helped a lot. But yeah, probably mid-race, they half the field dropped off, so I think that helped a lot.
Caleb, I've seen in your pit, the last pit sequence, you went from the back of that pack, that lead pack, and you actually made up a lot of ground. What did you do different than everybody else?
They were talking about taking tires, 2 tires, and I didn't think it was the right call, so I didn't take any tires there, and I beat probably 5 or 6 guys off the pit road there.
So in other words, you made the right call.
Yeah, I think I did pretty good there. Kind of wish Josh did the same thing because we were working together pretty good there, but I ended up losing him, and then Todd helped me out there at the end, so that was good.
Well, nonetheless, I think you were the biggest mover of the night, going from the back of the pack up to a podium finish. Great way to start the season. Is there anybody out there that you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you guys for putting on the league, Seth and American Hero Hunt for sponsoring this season, so hopefully we have a good rest of the year.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the 3rd, and we will see you next week at Kentucky.
Thank you.
That was our 3rd place finisher, the 4 of Caleb Thompson. Next, we will be bringing in the 58 of Robert Barris.
Robert, you got 2nd tonight. We seen a little pick play there at the end. It didn't quite work out for you. You had to get back out of it, or you didn't quite have the run that you needed. Could you tell us a little bit about that last couple laps there?
Yeah, that really got set up when we came down for green flag pit stops. Actually, it was Jason coming down for green flag stop. He had to come by himself, and so I moved up just a little bit just to give him opportunity to get slowed down without anybody running him over. And James shoved it in there. I kind of didn't like that, but that was really, I think, what made the difference, because that set the running order for the rest of the race. We made our green flag pit stops, and it was him and Elliott and I managed to come out as a pack of 3, and that's what we needed to get ourselves separated. And then for whatever reason, Elliott came down to pit. I'm guessing he probably was a little short on fuel. And then we ran up on the lap cars there of Joshua and Rodney, and at that point it was over. I mean, I didn't have any help, and you can't pass in these things by yourself, even one-on-one. You might be able to make it stick on the backstretch, get the nose out, but it's really hard at a 4 to get the nose ahead by the tri-oval. And when you got 2 cars to draft off of in a straight line, you don't have a chance. So it's just how it goes. Fortunate to get out of here, I think, with a 2nd place, the way the plate races have been for me this year. So we'll take this as a good points day and get ready for next week.
One last question before you go. Left side tires, why?
That first stop, I didn't fill it completely up, and so I had to take a little bit extra maybe than some others. And that was just enough time to go ahead and throw the 2 tires on there basically for free. You didn't really need them. I ran, I think, 110 laps in practice, and I never changed tires. And the car was a little bit sketchy if you would try to change direction real abruptly, but you could control it. So you didn't really need tires, but I took the lefts there just because it was free with the fuel I needed.
Well, there you have it. Well, come on second. Great night for opener for our season. You got to feel good about that, and congratulations to you. Is there anybody out there you want to give a shout out to or thank?
Yeah, shout out to iRacing for this platform that they give us to put the iRacing colors on the car with the new numbers. We're going to try to make some good history with that 58. We put that 75 in the garage. It's had a storied history here in the Diehard Racing League. Everybody who came out to drive, whether it was a returning driver or somebody new checking this out, hopefully they had a good time. And we ran clean. I think we don't have any cautions. So for a season opener at a plate track in the Cup car speaks to how clean and good the racing here is. You guys for doing the broadcast, and American Hero Hunt, we got to give them a shout out for coming on board again for another season to help pay the bills that need paid.
Well, we appreciate you. We did have one caution, but appreciate you being here, and see you next week, Kentucky.
10-4.
All right, that was our second place finisher. Now we are going to bring in tonight's season opener race winner, the one of James Mullins. All right, James, that number switch might have been a lucky thing because you brought the 1 home in the number 1 position. How's it feel to win the opener?
Oh man, it feels good. I feel like I should have won a race already. Back, counting last season, 4 or 5 races I did. I let a bunch of them slip away, but I'm glad I brought it home. I hate that I kind of took advantage of Robert there when the 99 had to pit, but it's so hard to pass here. And I just want to apologize because, that was an aggressive move, and I had to do what I had to do to win the race.
Well, play track racing is all about position, and we all know that this league is very well known for long green flag runs, and we saw the mass exodus of everybody come down on pit road at the same time. We saw a couple minor things. We only had 1 caution, which that's another thing that this league is known for, is not having a lot of caution. So especially being on a plate track where position is crucial, and knowing that next week we move into a 1.5 mile track, getting the win here at a plate track is kind of something more to savor than, say, winning at New Hampshire or Kansas or one of the typical cookie cutter tracks, because it takes a special skill set to be able to run out front, maintain the position, know when to come down, and in the end come out on top.
Yeah, I guess I kind of agree with that. Maybe took a little bit more skill a couple builds ago, but with this build, my 10-year-old son could drive. All you do is hold it wide open, hold it on the bottom, because ain't nobody can pass. It's ridiculous. iRacing's going to have to do something about it. It's just downright pitiful. And but I do savor this is Daytona. It is the biggest track, the best track to win at, and I'm just glad to get my first win with this league. They're very good guys here, and every one of them race really clean, and I really appreciate everybody here.
What's your thoughts next week as we move on to Kentucky, as we get away from this huge open race and then back down to a little bit more tight quarters battling?
Well, I've been iRacing for a long time now, and I pretty much think I'm pretty good on every track. They might be one track that I think I struggle at, but I feel pretty good in my chances.
All right, well, winning the season opener, hopefully we can make it back-to-back ones. Is there anybody out there that you would like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank all the guys that for the league through this race up. I want to thank you guys for putting on an excellent broadcast, and I want to thank the American Hero Hunt for sponsoring this league and the stream and stuff. And I just had a good time. It was a good race, guys.
Once again, congratulations on sealing the deal on the first win of the season and your first win with the league here. And we will see you next week at Kentucky.
Yep, see you guys.
All right, Mike, Cody, any final words before we throw this thing in the books?
Well,
yeah, it's amazing what this league can do, and I hope the people that are out there watching it appreciate it. it's one caution on a plate track for 70 laps is absolutely ridiculous. It's pretty much unheard of. You watch any official racing and there's 5, 6 cautions, big wrecks. This league's really amazing. Seth does a great job admitting it and running it. It's one of those things you got to apply if you want to run clean and green.
I couldn't agree with you anymore, which is going to lead us into tonight's results. Coming home with the race win, the 1 of James Mullins, Robert Barris in the new number with the 58. He's going to bring it home second. Caleb Thompson in the 4 after starting 21st. He's going to bring it home in the 3rd spot. The 10 of Todd Cray 4th. The 87 of Sean Bradley 5th. The 68 of James Brown. He's going to bring it home 6th. The 5 of Brad Spidle will be your 7th place finisher. Todd Larrabee in the 73 will come home 8th. Josh Jones in the 76 will be your 9th place finisher. Josh Gallagher in the 96 is going to round out the top 10. Coming in 11th will be the 28 of Adam Nowinski. Caleb Finn in the 95 will bring it home 12th. The 49 of Robert Dudley will bring it home from 13th. Justin Bolton, despite being involved in the only caution that we had tonight, is able to salvage a top 15 with a 14th place finish. The 98 of Jeffrey Ford, you can see the little asterisk by his name. That means he is a new driver. He was able to bring it home in 15th position. The newly badged 9 of Rodney Kramer brings it home 16th. The 22 of Joshua Stewart 17th. Last car on the lead lap, Elliott Butler, first car lap down in the 16 with the new paint scheme. The 99 of Jason DeVries, we saw he did a strategy call that we didn't think we were going to see out of the 99 team, but once again with a new number and a new paint job, he's going to bring it home 19th down 1 lap. Bruce Pearson in the 3 is going to round out the top 20, 1 lap down. As we look at the last 2, the 31 of Seth Schultz down 1 lap in 21st, and rounding out the field will be the 56 of Christian DeBoer down 2 laps in 22nd. So that's going to do it for us tonight here with the Diehard Racing League. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. We will be live Tuesday night with the Iron Thunder Racing League when they head off to Charlotte Motor Speedway. It'll be great to see that battle going on with the fixed Xfinity cars. And as you know, next Sunday we will be live once again here on the iRacing portal with the Diehard Racing League as they move on to week 2 with Kentucky Motor Speedway. So once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, everybody at iRacing, Diehard Racing League, JMR Outdoors. We thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching, and good night.